Hare Krishna. Was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lunar eclipse birth considered inauspicious? Before we can answer that, here's a short summary of who is Lord Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Radha and Krishna. He appeared as a pure devotee of the Lord in order to impart the teachings of Bhakti Yoga and also the process of surrendering to the Supreme Lord Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the great apostle of the love of Godhead and the pioneer of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He started the entire Nama Sankirtana movement in this world, and he appeared 538 years ago, February 1486 in Sridham Mayapur, a district in Navadvip, Bengal. He chose to appear during the lunar eclipse, and all of Navadvip was roaring with the holy sound of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone was chanting in order to remove the inauspiciousness, and the chanting was so loud that it pierced the material coverings of the universe. The devotees of Lord Hari were extremely marveled seeing the enthusiastic crowd chanting loudly the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In fact, they started to pray, "Please, my Lord, let this eclipse continue forever." Why would they pray like that when everyone was praying for the inauspicious eclipse to be removed? When we study our lives, we always pray for light and auspiciousness. No one prays for darkness, right? We must understand that even though this took place 500 years ago, God consciousness was almost forgotten by the people. They were engaging in so many immoral activities, walking on the path of ignorance due to the rise of the Kali Yuga. Taste for devotional service had decreased so alarmingly, and people had forgotten the true purpose and meaning of life. The devotees of the Lord, especially Advaita Acharya, were lamenting of the situation and were praying when would Lord Krishna appear to bring everyone to the light of bhakti. And this was when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to teach us the highest goal of life, which is love of Krishna. Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar. In this age of Kali, Lord Krishna has descended as his holy name, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the chief doctor who is distributing and administrating this medicine for us who are all sleeping in the deep sleep of ignorance. And he says, "Please receive this mantra and chant the holy name of Krishna and arise and awaken." So now let's come back to our question. Was the moment where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended inauspicious due to the eclipse? Well, if it was inauspicious, then why were the devotees praying for a perpetual eclipse? This is because the devotees understood that inauspiciousness is not due to darkness but forgetfulness of Krishna. Sahanistan mahachidram samoha sacha vibramaha yan hurtam shanam vapi vasudevam na chintayed. Even if for a moment remembrance of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is missed, that is the greatest loss, that is the greatest illusion, and that is the greatest anomaly. Recognizing how auspicious that moment was, the devotees responded, "Why not let this eclipse continue forever so that all may be enlightened in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord?" Therefore, the coincidence of the Lord's appearance during the lunar eclipse makes clear the purpose of his mission. He advented himself specifically to preach the importance of the chanting of the holy names of the Lord in Kali Yuga, or the age of quarrel. Even before his birth, the Supreme Lord propagated the chanting of his holy name. In other words, the advent of the holy name took place along with the advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 13:100 that seeing the lunar eclipse and laughing, Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakura immediately went to the bank of the Ganges and bathed in the river in great jubilation. Taking advantage of the occasion of the lunar eclipse, Advaita Acharya, by his mental strength, distributed various types of charity to the Brahmins. It is the custom of Hindus to distribute charity during the lunar or solar eclipse, and Srila Advaita Acharya, taking advantage of this occasion, distributed many variety of charity to the Brahmanas. Many people were surprised how he was able to distribute so much of charity and why he was distributing so much of charity, but he understood that today is the most auspicious moment of his life because the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is descending, and even though it was an eclipse, that eclipse was eclipsed by the auspiciousness and the auspicious appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya distributed charity exactly as Vasudeva did at the time of Lord Krishna's appearance. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.3.11, it is said that Vasudeva mentally collected 10,000 cows and distributed them among the Brahmanas as a transcendental festival. Because Vasudeva was imprisoned, he was unable to do it externally, and therefore he performed the festival within his mind. This was just as good. If one cannot externally serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can serve the Lord within one's mind, since they activities of the mind are as good as those of the other senses. So here we can see how a pure devotee of the Lord, Srila Advaita Acharya, is endorsing the auspicious appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu despite the inauspicious lunar eclipse. Akalanga Gora Chandra Dila Dharshana Sakalanka Chandrayara Kone Prayojana. When the spotless golden moon of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became visible, what would be the need for the full moon of contaminated spots on its body? When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Gaurachandra or the golden moon, manifested, his beauty was radiating and unparalleled in the three worlds, and the spotted moon, which we are accustomed to seeing, hid his face in shame in the presence of the spotless moon-like face of Lord Chaitanya. The moon that we see in the sky can be eclipsed, but the moon of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can never be eclipsed. Om apavitro pavitro va sarvasto gatopi va yaksmarat pundrikaksham sabhaya bhayantara suchihi. Whether pure or impure, or having passed through all conditions of material life, one who remembers lotus-eyed Krishna becomes externally and internally clean. We may become contaminated by unclean water or urine, yet the sun has the power to evaporate the impurities, purify the filth with its rays, and still maintain its own purity. If the material sun possesses such purifying abilities, then what can be said about the creator of that sun, Sri Krishna Chaitanya? So we have proven that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appear at an inauspicious time, and because of his appearance, everything was transformed into pure and auspiciousness. And the most important point to note here is that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disregarded the auspicious time of his appearance in order to prioritize on our salvation and liberation. In order to save us from this cycle of birth and death, he appeared at a time which was seemingly bad, but actually was highly beneficial for us. Similar to Sri Krishna, who appeared in a jail cell at midnight solely to rescue us from the prison of repeated birth and death. Or Lord Narasimha, who appeared in a pillar to save his devotee Prahlad Maharaj. The Lord is not concerned about how he appears in the material world. He does not expect VIP treatment or VIP welcome. His sole concern is that we should never have to appear again in this world of suffering. Therefore, he appears to save us and bring us back home, back to Godhead. The unborn Lord takes birth so that we would never have to take birth again. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham ashrita bhajate tadrishe kridha Yashrutva tatparo bhavet. When the Lord assumes a human-like body to show mercy to his devotees, he engages in such pastimes as will attract those who hear about them to become dedicated to him. The prayers of the devotees is also very significant because they were praying for the inauspicious eclipse to perpetually continue. This is very similar to the prayers of Queen Kunti, who prayed for unending calamities. When calamities were present, Krishna was with the Pandavas. And when the calamities ended, Krishna left the association. So Kunti Devi prayed, "O Krishna, I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we would see you again and again. For seeing you means we will no longer see repeated birth and death." The pure devotees of the Lord are teaching us that true auspiciousness lies in the remembrance of Krishna, and forgetfulness of Krishna leads to darkness. Therefore, let darkness prevail if the names of Krishna are heard and chanted, and let brightness cease to exist if it is devoid of the holy names of Krishna. Tat dinam durdinam manye meghachanam na durdinam Yattinam Krishna Samlapa Katapi Yusha Varjita. O Narada, I along with Parvati, Kartikeya and Ganesha always chant the Lord's holy names. I do not consider a cloudy day to be a bad day. The day which passes without discussions of Lord Krishna is actually a bad day. We may think that when the sky is filled with dark clouds, it is a bad day because we are unable to fulfill the plans of our life. But that is not the bad day. The bad day comes when we do not have the opportunity to hear the glories, the katha of Lord Krishna. So as confirmed by Lord Shiva himself, that inauspiciousness is not due to the eclipse, but due to the lack of chanting the holy names of Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival in this material world brought about the true auspiciousness that we are seeking for. So let's take shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and chant the holy names of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is the most auspicious activity which can be performed in the entire universe. And this will help us to get rid of this inauspiciousness of material existence once and for all. Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Jai Nityananda Prabhu ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol.